All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's GLP-1 activated presentation. I am so incredibly excited to bring this information to you this evening and to introduce you to our special guest who is joining us all the way from Florida. Let me tell you how excited I am by this. Today is my 50th birthday. And here I sit with you guys sharing this information. That is how excited and committed I am to getting the message of what we're doing here out there. So without further ado, we are going to, I'm going to hand you over to Dr. Piccirillo. He is based in Florida. He is an osteopath by trade, but also has an medical anti-aging clinic in Ocala, Florida. Dr. Piccirillo is also a LifeVantage consultant and experienced in the field of network marketing, with other experience in other companies behind him. So I'm very excited to introduce him and for him to share. Now, the GLP-1 system, I'm sure, is what all of you are here to hear about this evening. And the exciting part is this system has already been live in the US since October. We're going to share more about the actual dates and when it's coming here to the UK and the rest of Europe and Australia and New Zealand and Japan in the next coming
Philippines.
months. So stay on until, and the Philippines, yes. So stay on to make sure you get all of that information. And we will also be talking about the opportunity for you to be able to be a part of launching this incredible product with us. Now, I know that when we have these calls, some people are here for the information about the product. Some of you want to hear more about that opportunity, but I encourage you just to take away from the meeting what is relevant for you and disregard anything that is not. So with that, it is my great pleasure. I'm going to hand over to Dr. Piccirillo, who has lots of experience already with this system and with the GLP-1 that most of you will be have only have ever heard of before. So with that, Jeff, I'm going to hand over to you to kick it off.
Hey, thank you, Lisa. And first of all, I just want to say how honored I am to be invited to do this. It's just always amazes me. I did a call 2 weeks ago with the team from Australia as well. And I'm just honored that, my name is getting out there kind of as an expert in LifeVantage and an expert on the GLP-1. And I'm just always so honored when a group asks me to come and speak to them. And, right now it's 3:06 in the US in Florida. So a little bit behind you guys, although it is almost 70 degrees. I know you guys are a little more chilly than that right now in Great Britain. I do also want to say before I get going that I do have some ties to Great Britain. My mother was born in West Ham. My dad was a U.S. soldier during World War II and met my mom in an evac hospital. And they fell in love, and he brought her over to the U.S. After the war, and they got married. And lo and behold, a little bit later, they had me. So I've been over to England, and most of my family from England has moved to Australia now. They're in Perth. But I always enjoyed my time, especially during high school. I used to come and stay on my aunt and uncle's farm just south of London. So it was always a great time for me. I've been involved in LifeVantage now for just over about 6 months. I joined in July, so I'm relatively new to the whole LifeVantage thing. I was lucky in the fact that I had somebody reach out to me about 4 days before they announced the MindBody product. Didn't even have a name back then, but 4 days before they were ready to announce it, somebody whispered in my ear that the company she was working with was going to launch an all-natural version of GLP-1. I had been involved in another weight loss network marketing company around 2010 and did very well, made some money. It was an okay product. It wasn't a great product. I think now we have a great product. And I knew what this was going to do to help people and do financially, so I wanted to be part of it. Before we get started, I always want to talk about the disclosures. We make no claims of any medical treatment. These products aren't intended to cure, mitigate, prevent, or treat any diseases. At the end, Lisa's going to talk about the financial side and that you can make money in this. You can make full-time money. If you work this as a full-time job, you can make full-time money. If you work as a part-time job or a gig job, you'll make that kind of money. But if you put full effort into it, you can make some big dollars. We have about 40 people right now in South Africa that understand how big this company can be and what a big economy it can grow for you. We are the activation company. And what does that mean? It means that we're not a typical supplement. We're not just supplementing the body where we're, if you're low in vitamin D and you give your body vitamin D, that's a supplement. If you're low in something like NAD and you give your body NAD, that's a supplement. But this is different. Our products, especially the big three, especially Protandim, the liquid collagen, and now the MindBody, we're giving the body the building blocks that it needs to activate the body's system and to increase what the body needs, whether that increases superoxide dismutase, whether it be collagen, or now whether it be GLP-1. So this is completely different than even stuff that I've done in the past or stuff that I've used in my practice in the past. We have always been big because I've always practiced. My board certification is in orthopedic surgery, but I've always practiced more of a functional, holistic side of medicine. And I've always used supplements, but it wasn't until I was introduced to LifeVantage did I understand really what activation science was. Most of you that are members of LifeVantage already and are already consultants, you understand that Protandim is what started all this in 2005. And people will say, oh, you guys have an anti-aging product. No, we don't have an anti-aging product. We truly have the anti-aging product. There is nothing like this in the marketplace. And I'll talk just briefly about the science because I know we're all here excited about the GLP-1 launch in Europe. And I'm going to talk about that mostly. But, when Protandim came out and we realized that it elevated superoxide dismutase or SOD in the body. SOD is the biggest antioxidant, the major antioxidant that we have. And if you compare it, we've heard people talk about the antioxidant potential of things like organic blueberries. Well, 1 pint of organic blueberries will neutralize about 7,000 free radicals. 1 molecule of superoxide dismutase will neutralize 1 million free radicals. So if you take it and you take it to, we talk about taking it to make it. If you take it to make it and you're on it for 30 days, superoxide dismutase will go up by 40%. Well, what does that mean? That means that you can neutralize an extra 84 trillion free radicals. So what does that do to disease? What does it do to things like heart disease and dementia and things that are responsive to free radicals? Well, it's going to help downregulate that. It's not going to treat it, but it's going to decrease your risk of developing those diseases because you're treating those free radicals. So that's where it all started. It all started with an ABC News special report here in the US, and it really got the product on the market. The next one that came out that really got our name on the market was our liquid collagen. And then activating the liquid collagen with Protandim, we found that the two working together had some significant benefits. We also just found out here in the US, and I don't know if you saw the release from LifeVantage, but we've also now found out that there's 24 genes that are activated if you pair Protandim with the MindBody. That's the new research. So taking the two together is synergistic, just like taking Protandim and liquid collagen together is synergistic. So we do have an advantage of taking the two together. So here's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the weight loss system that literally broke the internet. This was launched in the US on October 12th. The company had 50,000 units of the product, and they thought that that would last somewhere around 10 weeks. They had another truckload coming in with another 50,000 units about 8 weeks later, and they thought they were going to be fine, but they found out very quickly that they weren't fine. We had 200 times the web traffic on the day that it launched. The first batch sold out in 13 days, and the second batch sold out in about 2 weeks, but 8 weeks later. So we were on back order from almost October, the end of October, October 20th, October 25th, all the way till about January 1st. We do not expect that problem in Europe. I think we have enough. At least that's what the company is telling us. So I think we will be fine as far as that goes. I tell all of my patients, all of my customers, and when I talk to my consultants, I think taking the two together, the MindBody and the Protandim, there's such a synergistic effect. If you think about the reason that people are taking the MindBody problem, the reason is obesity. Obesity in the United States, as it is in Europe, is a huge problem. There are states in the United States where obesity is pushing 50%. There are 5 states that it's over 45% and pushing 50%. So it's a huge problem. I'm old. I don't know if I'm the oldest. I'm looking at the pictures of everybody on the call tonight. I'm probably one of the oldest people on the call. I'm 62 years old. So I remember living in the 1970s. In the 1970s, the obesity rate was 8%. So what's happened between 1975 and 2025? And that's 50 years. So what's happened in that 50 years? Well, our diets have changed. Our diets are no longer grown near our house. It's no longer animals raised near our house. It's all highly processed food that comes in packages. All that highly processed food is just loaded with oxidative stress and with chemicals that increase our free radicals. And if we don't downregulate the free radicals first, then what happens is all our hormones that are needed to increase our metabolism, thyroxine, testosterone, human growth hormone, those are all downregulated. As those get downregulated, then we get heavier. As we get heavier, we get more free radicals. More free radicals leads to more obesity, and it's a carousel that we can't get off of. And so when Big Pharma came up with the idea that they were going to come up with a drug to treat diabetes, which they then found also treated obesity, which are the GLP-1 drugs, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Rybelsus, the whole line of them that are in the United States. They stumbled upon something that truly could be life-changing. They figured out that obesity was a problem, and if you can control obesity both in the gut and in the brain, then you're able to do that. But here's the interesting part is that this is not old school supplementation. This isn't taking a pill that contains GLP-1 and your body's going to work better. It's not harmful Big Pharma where it's being tested on animals. We're really not sure what's happening in the human body. We know a little bit, but it really hasn't been out long enough. Even in the United States, it's only been out for about 7 years. We don't really know what the long-term effects are. We now know that there's some major complications. There's something called gastroparesis, where the entire digestive tract shuts down. We know that there's nausea, vomiting, diarrhea associated with it. We know that there's significant muscle loss. Even the drug companies themselves say that the average muscle loss for somebody that's on the drug for more than 6 months is anywhere from 20 to 25% of the weight that you lose, which means if you lose 60 pounds on one of the GLP-1 drugs, you're losing anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds of muscle, not just fat. This is an activation. This is giving the body small building blocks that are going into the system and allowing the body to build up its own GLP-1 store. When we started this, I think a lot of people didn't understand what GLP-1 was. And so GLP-1, the medical name or what it stands for is glucagon-like peptide 1. So if I say that, then the next question that should pop into your head is, well, what's glucagon? Well, glucagon is, the way I like to describe it, is anti-insulin. So when we eat food and it goes into our stomach and it breaks down into sugars, and the sugars converted over to glucose, as glucose goes up, insulin goes up, because insulin is what's used to drive the glucose, the energy, into the cells. As the glucose gets driven into the cells, then insulin starts to drop, but what happens is glucagon starts to rise. And so what does GLP, glucagon-like peptide, do? It blocks the glucagon sites. So glucagon is what causes us to get hungry again. So if we can block that, then we don't have that craving to eat as soon as the glucose is out of our system. 2 hours later, our stomach's empty and glucagon rises, and it's like, I gotta get another bite to eat. Well, your body don't really need that energy at that point. It's a response to your blood sugar dropping. And so glucagon-like peptide 1 suppresses that. And so if we're able to raise our body's own levels of glucagon-like peptide, then we slow digestion, we slow those cravings, we enhance our metabolism. And the long-term effect of that is that we lose weight. So here are the things that GLP-1 does. It increases insulin secretion. It blocks glucagon. It slows digestion. It suppresses our appetite. Then the interesting thing is that the receptor sites aren't just in the gut. There's receptor sites in the brain. So it's protective to the brain. It's protective to the heart. It decreases the risk of heart disease just by taking the GLP-1. I'm going to talk a little bit about another way that it can decrease that risk, and it suppresses the appetite. There's receptors in the kidneys, there's receptors in the pancreas, there's receptors in the digestive tract, and as I said, in the heart and in the brain. What it does is it takes back your relationship with food. It's interesting, and now some of the big research is looking at GLP-1 in addiction, because there's a pleasure center in the brain, and GLP-1 actually downregulates that pleasure center. So now cravings for sugar go down on the GLP-1s, but what they're also seeing is cravings for alcohol, cravings for drugs, cravings for nicotine are also going down on the GLP-1s. And that's where a lot of the research is headed. So it's very, very interesting. So why are we having problems with GLP-1? And why are those levels dropping in our body? That a drug company came out and said, well, we've come up with a drug that we can elevate the GLP-1 levels with this drug. And why did LifeVantage react to that and say, well, let's find a natural way of doing that? It's because when we overeat, when we start eating for stress or we start eating for depression, we're not eating necessarily because we're hungry, automatically we push our GLP-1 levels down. Also, oxidative stress, all the chemicals that we're exposed to, secondhand smoke, chemicals in our food, chemicals in air pollution, all of those things are also decreasing our natural GLP-1 levels. So if you have a very low GLP-1 level, the natural response to that is you're going to eat more and you're going to gain more weight. When I was sitting in the convention hall on October 12th, the day they launched this exact slide came up on the screen in front of us, and I took a screenshot of it with my phone because I was really amazed by the 12-week human clinical study. In the United States, we had a group of people from LifeVantage, as well as some people that they brought in off the streets that elected to be part of our study. We had 55 people and call it Club 55. And this was the results, the 12-week results of Club 55. GLP-1 levels increased on average 140%. So you think if something increases 100%, it doubles. So at more than 1.5 times the regular level, it went up 150% of normal. Most people lost 9 pounds in 8 weeks, but their average weight loss was 25 pounds in 12 weeks. This is important for everyone on this call. Make sure that you understand this. It is a 3-month program. Do not sign anyone up if they're not willing to give it 3 months. They will get very, very disappointed. I actually wrote an email that I send out to all my new customers, and I'll actually forward it to Lisa in case she wants to forward it to everybody in the group. But it talks about how month 1, you do one thing, month 2, you do something, month 3, you get to a certain level. But it takes that full 3 months for that GLP-1 level to go from maybe 10% of normal, 20% of normal, depending how downregulated your body is, up to 140% of normal. So if you go on it for a month, if you think it's like the drug, and it's nothing like the drug, if you think it's like the drug that's just from an outside source, what we call exogenously replacing it, it's not. It's the body needs to respond and build it up. So it's going to take time for that. And then once it kicks in, then you start noticing the weight loss part of it. So make sure that your customers know that they have to give it 3 months. It's not going to work. They're not going to start losing weight, 5 days after they take the first 2 pills. 100% of the people in the study did not lose muscle. That goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, where the average admitted muscle loss by the companies that make the drugs is anywhere from 15, actually, I think it's 17 to 25%. So if you lose 60 pounds of weight, you're losing 15, 20 pounds of muscle. They lost up to 27% of what's called visceral fat. Visceral fat is the bad fat. That's the fat that surrounds the organs, surrounds your digestive tract, it surrounds your stomach, it surrounds your liver, it surrounds your kidneys, but it also surrounds your heart. And fat around the heart increases your risk of heart disease. That's why people that are diabetic have a higher risk of heart disease, because their visceral fat is higher. And this is showing a 27% decrease in visceral fat. Once again, the drug companies also studied this. They only showed an 8 to 17% decrease in visceral fat. 82% took back their control of their relationship with food. 95% decreased their cravings for sugar. That was one of my personal things. I have been a big guy. I played American football back in the 1980s. I've always been, my playing weight in football was 265 pounds. I'm right around 260 now. I have been as high as 410 pounds. When I started the MindBody system on October 12th, I was 314 pounds. I'm down to 260. So that's being on this system a little over 4 months. But what I would notice is my son has a dairy allergy. And so one of the things that we keep in our house all the time are Oreos. Oreos have no dairy in them. So we would always have Oreos. So I'd walk past the pantry and they would call my name. I'd go in and grab 2, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. I have not had an Oreo since October. Just there's no desire for sugar at this point. So you can see how it works in the brain level to downregulate that pleasure center. So what does it do? It's simple to take. It's 2 pills in the morning, followed by, I think with you guys, it's 2 scoops of the powder throughout the day. There's no drugs, there's no needles, there's no diarrhea, vomiting, nausea, none of the side effects that are associated with the GLP-1 drugs. You don't even have to go in and have a doctor's appointment. The expense is significantly less. And I know the GLP-1 drugs in Europe are way cheaper. In the United States, they're about $1,300 a month. So I guess that would be, I don't know, around 700 pounds, I think, if I'm doing the correction. And I think you're getting it for about 200, I think it's about 200 pounds a month. This is even going to be less than that. So it's very easy to take with no outrageous expenses and no following labs. Like I said, I'm down over 40 pounds. These are some of the people that were in our Club 55 study. The first slide are some of the men. You can see how the abdominal girth are down in all of them. The guy on the right-hand side of the screen, I wish he would have worn the same colored polo, but you can see through his midsection how it's much less thick in the bottom picture compared to the top picture. We saw the same kind of results in our ladies. The lady on the right, once again, down 5.2 pounds, but down 8.25 inches, lost 1.4% of her body fat. You can definitely see it. My favorite picture in all of our slides is the girl in the middle on this slide. The girl in the middle, you cannot suck in back fat. No other nice way to say it. There's no way that she can suck it in and make these rolls go away. So definitely a difference. You can also see on the gentleman in the beginning. Yes, he's arching his back a little bit more in the first picture. You can fake it a little bit by sucking it in, but that you cannot suck in. Definitely something that is proven. And like I said, it's proven in myself as well. So now we can finally say that in the United States that we're no longer on the back order. We are entering what I like to say weight loss season. January is over. A lot of people want to lose weight for their New Year's resolution. But now, in the United States, even where I'm at in Florida, it's starting to be swimsuit season. So people want to drop a few pounds to lose weight for the summer. So now's the time to do it. We did a weight loss challenge with our group here in the US. I think we enrolled almost 1,500 people in a weight loss challenge. Some of the leaders in our group put up some money. So we had about almost $30,000 in prize money that we were able to give out for the people that are on the 90-day challenge. Here's the interesting thing, and this kind of goes on why I think it's the right time, both financially and medically, to be part of this. Obesity rates continue to rise. I told you that there are 5 out of the 50 states in the United States that are pushing 50% obesity rate. They think it's going to be 50% in 29 states by 2030. In the amount of spending on drugs in the United States, I was talking to Lisa about this before everybody came on. Semaglutide was the #1 selling drug in the United States last year with $38 billion in sales. One drug for weight loss. And now we have a natural product that will rival that. Doesn't replace it. It's not a drug. It's not even a supplement. It's an activator. It's giving the body the building blocks it needs to build its own GLP-1. And the market is going to continue. Right now, the GLP-1 market or the weight loss market is about $138 billion. They said it's going to be $200 billion in about a year, and it can probably go over $400 billion by 2030. So now is definitely the time to get involved. I think at this point, Lisa, I'll go ahead and send it over to you. You know what? I have one more slide. I have three more slides.
Go ahead.
Hang on 1 second. Let me go through all these. This is
it.
about all our weight loss challenge, but I have one more. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, the 3 months. They have to give 3 months if they want to be part of this. And I think that if they think it's going to be a 1 month fix, it's not. Even if they only have 10 pounds to lose, it's not going to be a quick 1 month fix. Phase 1, first 4 weeks, your body's starting to build new bacteria in the gut. It's starting to replenish the building blocks it needs to build GLP-1. And you might notice some less food noise, some less cravings. You might have some fluctuation in weight. You may even gain some weight initially with that in that first 4 week period, but not to dismay. By the second phase, weeks 5 through 8, now you're starting to get activated. You're starting to get your GLP-1 levels up where you'd like them. Your gut health is improving. Your leaky gut symptoms are improving. Your cravings are down. You're making better choices on what you eat. And then by month 3, and like I said in the study, first 8 weeks, 7-8 pounds weight loss. By the end of 12 weeks, 25-pound weight loss. Now you're optimized. Now your GLP-1 levels are up that 140%. Your cravings are gone. You're not eating as much. You're not eating sweets as much. And this is where it really kicks in. I have this, like I said, in an email. I'll send that to Lisa. And if you guys want to change it around and put it in your own wording, and it's something that I like to send out to all our customers. Now I'll hand it back over to Lisa.
Yes, that letter would be great. There was many yeses in the comments for that as well, Jeff. So if you could
absolutely
send me that over, that would be really great. I think I've managed most of the questions in the chat, but they're probably going to keep coming.
Okay, let me go to that. And I can watch that. I can watch that while you talk.
Yeah, and then what we'll do is we'll come back at the end and we can cover any that we haven't already, or if there's anything you want to add to the ones that have already been asked there, then you can go ahead and do so. If you stop sharing, then I can bring up my screen.
Let me do that.
Thank you so much. You've just got me all excited all over again. I wasn't excited enough about this. It's so interesting. And I know obviously the US is a much bigger country, bigger population, but it's said that there are now millions of people.
Is my sharing gone?
Oh,
I think I stopped it.
sorry, my family are trying to call me on
Okay.
let me put my do not disturb.
So I'm going to just comment on one of it. It's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way, not Celsius.
Yeah.
70
Oh,
Celsius,
yeah.
70 Fahrenheit or 70 Celsius would be really hot.
Oh, you're still sharing by the looks of it. Jeff,
What's that?
you're still sharing.
I'm still sharing. Let me see how to get out of this.
Well, let me see if allow multiple presenters, only 1% of presenters have replace current share. Okay, it's letting me do it anyway. That's okay. All right. So as we mentioned this evening, we were going to talk about the company, the philosophy around take it to make it, how we ended up in a situation that we had a GLP-1 activator, which Jeff covered really nicely for us. And then Jeff's done a really great job of walking you through what GLP-1 is, the benefits that it has on the body, and how we're able with the mind-body system to be able to increase your body's own production of GLP-1, which has so many health benefits. There are receptors for GLP-1 in multiple organs and many on your brain. So the benefits of that hormone have benefits way outside of weight loss. I know there was somebody in the chat asking if somebody didn't want to use this for weight loss, would there be other health benefits? And my answer would definitely be yes, because of the amount of receptors. Maybe Jeff has some further to add on that as we go in. But I want to just talk to you a little bit as we close off the presentation, also about the fact that we are in a very unique position right now. And I want to just share with you this quote from Warren Buffett that says, you must position yourself in front of a growth curve, not in the middle, not at the end, but at inception. And then realize that window of opportunity is always closing. So work like there is no tomorrow. And I want to share with you very briefly, before we go into what to do and what's next, my experience of being in the front of a growth curve a couple of times in my life. And one of them was the launch of LifeVantage into the UK and Europe. And so I have 15 plus years in the health and beauty industry prior to become a LifeVantage consultant. And like Jeff, I was involved in another network marketing company that was based around weight loss. So I have a very good understanding of the power of this market and how fast it grows and the opportunity that it provides people. I spent another 8 years as a pharmaceutical rep, and I started with LifeVantage 9 years ago next month. I cannot believe it. It seems like 2 or 3 years that we've been doing this, but it's actually 9 whole years that we brought Protandim NRF2, starting with the UK and then expanding into the Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Spain, Ireland, and now in Belgium as well. Italy and France, I think, can also be customers. And so it's very exciting to have done that. And I'll explain what that has provided for me as somebody without a degree. I'm just a hard worker that was sick and tired of the rat race. I was sick and tired of working not 9 till 5, but probably 7 till 7, Monday to Friday, with 3 children as a single mom and having no money and no time. A washing machine breaking down was a financial crisis, despite having what would be considered a very good job, company car, healthcare, pension. And so back when I came across LifeVantage in 2015, this was me. I was in the middle of complete burnout, mental, physical, My body was shutting me down. I had no motivation. I had no focus. I had brain fog that couldn't even let me do 20 minutes work without needing a 2-hour nap. And I was a mess. I had been spinning plates, burning the candle at both ends for so many years. My body finally said, you're not doing that anymore. And it was a friend of mine in the US that reached out to me and introduced me to Protandim. And at the time, she told me it was a herbal supplement. And I just rolled my eyes and said, yeah, right. And then she sent me this video, which the person who invited you to tonight's call can send you that video. It's called ABC Primetime Investor Report on Protandim. And
it's amazing. If you are in LifeVantage and you have not watched it, the next thing you should do when you sign off is watch it.
It's a must.
40 minutes and it's worth it.
I was a pharmaceutical rep at the time. I was working with neonates, so the most vulnerable little people on earth. And I had a particular medical nutrition product, and we had 3 clinical studies. And for 7 or 8 years, I recycled those 3 studies for all those years, over and over and over again. It's all we ever had. And when I looked into this product, and it had 18 peer-reviewed published studies back then, today we have 26 on the on PubMed.
I think it's actually up to 32.
Yeah, on PubMed now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is irrefutable. Like, I could take this product to anybody and nobody could deny the fact that this product switches back on enzymes that you used to produce in your early 20s and you stop making as you get older. And so I started taking it. To cut a long story short, this stuff put me back on the journey of life. And my brain fog disappeared. My energy, physical energy, mental energy, my memory came back. I have not personally had a migraine for 9 years since the day that I started taking this stuff. It is unbelievable. The sleep is better. And then it just got better from there with the other things that we added and collagen and everything else. So I was excited to go out and tell everybody about this. Within 6 months, we'd launched the product into Europe. I built a 6-figure income for myself. I walked away from an employment. I haven't worked for anybody else ever since for 12 years. And I've picked up large bonus checks. I've been on incredible incentive trips. And my life has completely changed. And I say this because I know it's cheesy, right? But here's the thing. I was a working mom, getting up at 7 o'clock, taking the children to childcare. They were in before school, after school, out of school, grandma school, pick them up at 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, go home. And that was my life consistently on and on and on. Today, as a LifeVantage consultant, it means that I get to choose the hours that I work, and my business fits in around my life and my children for a change. So after about 3 years, I sat down on the end of my bed and I thought, Lisa, you did this so you didn't have a boss. You could have more time, freedom. And what are you going to do with your life? Because all you're doing is working, because that's all I'd done for so many years. And I was still conditioned into doing that. And so I said, oh my gosh, the horses. You said for so many years, as soon as I get time, I am going to get back into the horses. And literally within 2 months, I bought a horse and that was it. I'm now producing a brand new dressage horse. I get up in the morning, I do a couple of hours work, I go to the stables. We have our first competition this weekend. And I have literally this company and becoming a LifeVantage consultant has completely changed my existence. So it is ridiculous that I would come to a call like this and not share the opportunity for you to jump on the second wave of LifeVantage. Because yes, we launched this company back in 2016, and so did many others. Like, this is a group of our team that all went to the Bahamas together. This is some of our consultants being recognized on stage in Salt Lake City, Utah. Kasha here. We have people from all kinds of walks of life and backgrounds. So Kasha is a fitness instructor. Ali is from PR. Vicky comes from owning a very large international spa company. You have Francis, who's a networking business consultant, Philippa in PR, and Eileen, who's a spiritual healer. And Brian, who is from Germany, lives in Ireland. He was an engineer who decided to join LifeVantage, and now is pretty much a full-time LifeVantage consultant as well. So what I want to talk to you about being a part of the next wave of LifeVantage. There is a much greater demand, I would say, for this product than there ever was for Protandim NRF2, however amazing it is. Currently, 64% of adults in the UK, over half of all adults, are managing their weight currently. 45% of all UK adults are said to be actively trying to lose weight. That equates to about 23 million people in the UK. And it's a $250 million a year industry. A lot of people are looking for what we have. And we are about to bring a revolutionary breakthrough in weight loss. It is already trending, but we're offering a safer option for people who want to lose weight. It's not an alternative, but it's a safe option without risk and complication. So the LifeVantage compensation plan, or commission structure, as we would call it here, it's designed to work for all types of consultants. So if you're somebody, and I know Dr. Jeff is building a much larger LifeVantage organization, but you have a clinic or a salon, or maybe you're a physiotherapist or a hair salon like Sarah, I can see on the line here as well, and you already have an existing clientele that would love this product, you can just promote the product to others. We have products that are clinically studied and are designed to produce results that you not only see, but you feel the difference when you take them, which is incredibly unique to most. We're a fully transparent, publicly traded company with 20 years in the industry, and have sold over 2 billion, I think, in a 40-pound NRF2 activator product at this point. And we are about to head into the global launch of the MindBody system, which provides a huge opportunity, whether you just want to take a small piece of that or you're interested in a bigger piece of what that opportunity looks like. There are different ways that you can earn as a consultant. I'm going to keep it really brief. So if you've got further questions, the consultant who invited you to the presentation will go through them with you. But number one is, if you just want to recommend this product to others, maybe you want to just earn enough money that you can pay for your own product every month. Or maybe you want to just share the product casually through word of mouth, meetings, events, or just online social media from your phone, wherever you are. It's not just from home now, it's wherever you have an internet connection. And if I didn't have horses, I would probably be living in the Bahamas or Dubai, doing my business from my phone instead of 1 degree heat in the UK. But if you would like to build a larger organization, you can do that by recommending not only the product to others, but by also developing a team of LifeVantage consultants yourself. And so this gives you a little example, and it's very brief. But if you see the blue column on the second to the left, if you were to enroll 4, 8, 16, 30 customers, you can see that if you had 10 customers, for example, you'd be making £200-300 a month. If that was 20 customers, you'd be making about £600 a month. And if you had about 30 customers, you'd be making about £800 a month from just recommending customers. Now, if you found 2 people who could get excited about this or have a clientele for this product already, and let's say you had 16 customers, you were making nearly £500 a month, and you had 2 people doing the same as you, that's an £800 a month increase in income. But guys, there are people making 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 40,000 a month, 70,000 US dollars a month in this company. It just depends what you're looking for and how far you want to take it. So let's talk about the product launch and what to do next. So let's say you're just interested in the product and you want to become a customer using the MindBody system. Well, the official launch date for the product is going to be April 24th. You will want to get back to the person who invited you to the presentation and get on their wait list. So the moment it becomes available, you can be one of the very, very first people to order. We have had multiple discussions about not running out of stock. As Dr. Jeff mentioned, they ran out of stock within 13 days. And then the second batch was already sold out before it arrived. So we've had conversations with corporate about that not happening, but make sure you get on that wait list. I would highly recommend, and I don't know if Jeff touched on this or not, but in the consultants that were in the study that were already been taking Protandim NRF2 for some time, they did notice that those people had better results on MindBody, and that's because they'd already taken away some of the cellular stress. You know, we're all coming into this biologically unique in terms of where we are with our health. And so those who had already been activated using NRF2, the dual synergizer, the healthy glow stack with the collagen, they did see quicker results with the MindBody system. So I do recommend you don't wait till April 24th. Get activated now.
I completely agree with you, Lisa. I think that 2 months of activation before you even start the MindBody is probably the best case scenario.
And that's exactly
we're right about it that period. So
yeah, so it's good timing. And then tell anybody else who's interested to come and join us here. We're doing these meetings every single Wednesday, or you can join our Facebook group, and they can learn more, watch these recordings there. And we have a group of people using the system in Europe now that are sharing their results and how they've got along with it so far. So you can join along with that. If you're interested in joining the team and becoming a part of the launch of the product and the LifeVantage community, you can get registered today as a consultant. You get products included in your registration pack, as well as your own LifeVantage unique website app, everything you're going to need to become a successful LifeVantage consultant. Pre-launch events are taking place now. We are not waiting until March 15th. I'll explain March 15th in a moment. We are hosting these events every Wednesday. You can literally invite your client, your interested parties to come and join these meetings. We're going to do all the legwork, all the talking for you to help you out getting started. And we're also doing in-person events all over the UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, you name it. I recommend maybe hosting a launch of your own if you're feeling confident to do that, or somebody that has introduced you will help you do that. Build a customer wait list now, and also you can start building your own team of consultants like tomorrow. You can join us every Monday. We do a team training and we do go through all of the updates. You can get yourself well up to speed before the launch. And you, as a consultant, are going to get early access to the system from March 15th. So consultants will be able to order early so they can get to use it, experience it, so they can help support their customers when they get started. So these are some of the events that we're running all throughout the UK. Where are we at now? The 20th. So 27th of February, we're in Lincoln, then we're in Liverpool, Sheffield, Skipton, Hertfordshire. It's actually Bushey in Hertfordshire, Dorset, Taunton, Ireland. We're in Galway, Ennis, Dublin, the Netherlands. We're in near Schiphol, and then in Harderwijk as well at the moment. So, and then every Wednesday we're hosting these presentations online. We also have created, as I said, the Facebook group. There's a little QR code so you can scan that and join our group. Please put the name of the person who invited you to this presentation, because it is an invitation only group. Thank you so much for that. If you want to get started on the activation products, get back with whoever invited you to the presentation. They will tell you exactly which ones are going to work for you. If you want to get started as a consultant, it starts in the UK from £200. And the most popular kit, or it's about €350. The most popular kit is the Healthy Glow Stack. It includes the Protandim NRF2 and collagen. And you can do that immediately, and they will show you exactly how to do that. You will be able to start reducing your own cellular stress in time for getting your mind-body system, as well as having everything you need to be a successful consultant. So now is the time to get loud about activation. And I've been saying this to my team for the last month or so here. There is never going to be an easier time or conversation to build your LifeVantage business. There is a certain excitement and momentum that builds with the launch of a product like this. And the window of that is becoming smaller every day. So the time to get started is not wait, it's pull the trigger, get started now. Join us in the launch. I've done this twice before. Both times we've seen life-changing results for so many people, both in their physique and their health, but also in activating their bank accounts by becoming a consultant. So get back to the person who invited you to the presentation. They will tell you exactly tell them where you fit in, what are the questions you have, and they will tell you exactly what to do next. We're running these presentations every Wednesday. You can come back next week. You can bring your friends next week so they can learn more. And we look forward to seeing you here, seeing your results, and welcoming you to our team. That's all I've got for this evening, guys. I will stop the recording and we'll open it up for any questions that anybody has if we haven't answered them already. Is there any other questions in the chat that we haven't answered, Jeff?